Well, hello and welcome to Joyful Mondays. I am Joy Ruffin, and the work that I bring to you every week is all about joy, all about you. Welcome. It's always good to have you here. I am Joy Ruffin, and my work is as a leadership and style consultant, a signature style specialist. I'm also working as a leadership, personal development leadership strategist. And there's so much more involved with that. But every Monday when I come to you with a featured guest speaker. And oh boy, do I tie in with my style work always. And today, my friends, I am going to tie this conversation that we're going to have later on with my featured guest speaker. And it's going to be yummy because we're talking about beware of the one size fits all approach. Haven't you seen and heard that? Because when you're talking about signature style, you're talking about yours and yours alone. And it's neither everyone, everybody, anyone, every woman. Oh, and we talk about every woman. We're going to be talking a lot about that today. We're talking about divine femininity and masculine. We don't leave one out without the other. I love quotes. My prayer is that you love them too, because that's always my beginning and an opening with you. And this one, I think, fits today's topic. One size fits all approach to any and every and all things? No. And yet, when most of us come into marketing, branding, and sales, you come in initially with that hunger, that thirst, and that starving to have everybody embrace you. It does not happen. It just does not happen. Here's what one of the quotes said, and you'll be laughing about this one. At least I hope you will, if you have a sense of humor. And humor is what keeps us grounded here. If you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader. Sell ice cream. Can you guess who said that? I love it when I read that. It's so Steve Jobs. Are you laughing? Did you have a little smile inside your heart, soul connected? Because it's true. Leadership demands a whole different ballgame, and most of the good ones, the excellent, the exceptional, they're out of the box. Because it's never everybody, everyone, anyone, anybody, every woman, when it comes especially to style, fashion style. And friends, for me, the three businesses, industries that I love the most, and they are all aligned and tied together, the fashion business, the entertainment business, and the communication business. And may I say to you in love, because as I meet and go with you further in depth about all of the work that I'll be doing with you, because it can't be done without you, is that they're warped, all three of them. And your assignment and mine is to change that. The expression today, and I love it because I'm a happy senior, happy to be here every day, blessed, grateful to stand, to rise. But the younger generation, we need each other. But their expression, no worries, I got you. I feel you. Who cares? Whatever. Well, we need to care. We need to get that foundational base a little bit more solidified. A lot of it's gone. It's pure dreck and it's not coming back. But a lot of the new is the same. So where do we get to the mean, to the middle, to get to the divine that's in each and every one of us? It's another way. There's another way to say it. And Les Brown, whom I had a chance as a young girl to get a whiff of and an understanding of, when he said everyone has greatness within them, that is my belief. That is what I believe. Now, some people say, Joy, you're kind of like a preacher. No, I'm not a preacher, but I am a minister of enlightenment, awareness, and an awakening, especially for the divine feminine, because how we show up today, it matters, and how we feel about our bodies and how we showcase them. We've gone over to the dark side. Some of us can admit it because of our programming, conditioning, and sexualizing, and some of us can't. It's not about preaching. It's about an awakening and an enlightening awareness of what the truth, the beauty, and the love of each and every one of us is all about. There's a lot of juice there, and we're going to be sharing that a lot with you as we go forward. We're planning to have a webinar, and as soon as we schedule it and everything, we'll let you know, and we'll start to promote it. And your assignment, you know that we love homework here, is that you will come and be a part of it. And when it comes to fashion and style and awareness and all of that, for me, it's a lot about joyisms, mine, that I love sharing with you. And one of the things that's really important is, wow, take a good look at how you are showing up. Are you showing up the best of the best of you always? Now, with social media, there's no question that people put everything on the Facebook. A lot of it can harm you down the road. And do we really need to see a lot of it that we see there? I'm not going to go there today, but this journey of self-discovery, it's all about community, collaboration, and connection. And that's what we are all aiming for, no matter what wheelhouse we're the masters of and the experts in, because there's no anything without connecting with other people. And I'm sure that you've heard this many, many times. Everybody can wear this. This looks good on everybody. This fits everybody. Your assignment is to be wiser, to get to know, love, value, and appreciate every ounce, inch of you, regardless to all the things that we have been programmed and conditioned to believe. This idealized sense of beauty and all of that, it has to go. It is going. For those who are in the leadership mode and are ready to share their wisdom and their love and knowledge, one and the same, really, with others. And that's what we're about here. And let's end with something that's kind of fashion forward. A quote that simply, I think it addresses everything. This was said did I tell you that the entertainment industry is one of my loves, one of my three? There are more, but the top three. This was said by somebody, some of you will remember and some of you will not, but you have the option to do and use the Google University. I call him Dr. Google. She said, you can have anything you want if you dress for it. And I would add to that, if you know how to present and have a presence and speak to it that engages others. I added that on. But that was said by Edith Head. She was one of the leading costume designers back in the day. Back in the day. But I leave you with that because that's food for thought. And food for thought is one of my foundational bases. Use it and see how it works for you. And it is a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. I don't know of much overnight that does happen. But when it happens and you begin to assemble and put together all the things that are going to showcase the best of the best of you, another expression that's very common out here, you will begin to care. And it won't be whatever and whoever. It'll be, I'm wanting to be an instrumental part of this society so that we can all grow in the collective together. I love getting frogs in my throat. Now, it's time for a quick little reset because I'm excited to bring on my featured guest speaker. But before I do, I want to invite you to join my Leading Ladies, Leading Legacies Facebook group. This is a group that's designed for women only, but every gen out there who tunes in from time to time, you have a leading lady somewhere in your life, even if it's momsy, and you haven't found that divine feminine female that you're looking for yet. She is on her way, but her vision, her mission, and her purpose is major, as is yours. So I'm inviting you to join this group. We are a community that's growing each and every day, and we need you to grow with us. The other part of that is everyone, there's so many ways you can speak to it, has magic within them. And what we're asking you to is discover that magic within you, that talent, that skill, that creativity, and more that's waiting to be awakened, waiting so that it can awake and enlighten others. So your assignment is to get this gift that's for you, and then to see if you want to take it further, your call, depending on your higher source, your divine, and so on. But it's all contingent upon you. I want to show you very briefly, and I want my engineer to leave it up for a second. I'd love for you to take a screenshot or a snapshot. Wealth is within, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. There's so much that we're going to cover about this, but if you can take a screenshot or a snapshot, my guest, I'm going to bring her up now. It's just in a second. I want to share with you briefly, though, a little bit about her background. This is a lady that I always attempt to bring here to you, men and women who are about the same purpose, more or less, different avenue, different lane, different journey, but it's all connected at the end. And my guest today, her name is Georgia Reish, but I want to share with you a little bit about her. She's a trauma healing artist and developer of diverse enrichment and complementary care programs and projects that target vulnerable populations and the caregiving professionals and organizations which serve them. This is very admirable work, exceptional work. There's so much more we'll share with you as we meet and chat with each other. But as a nonprofit and business development advisor for over 20 years, Georgia comes to us with a broad range of systems that involve change, transformation, and leadership empowerment. And I could go on, my friends, but all I want you to do is what you know to do already. And if you're new here, you'll hear it for the first time. Just sit back and relax, get comfortable, whatever that is to you, and help me welcome our featured guest speaker today, Georgia Reish. Georgia, hello and welcome.
Hi, Joy. Thanks so much for having me again. I love to spend time with you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. It's mutual. I don't bring people back that I didn't feel good for the first time around because we're all doing the same work in different ways, Georgia. And I love your title, that everything is within. Owner's wealth within. How did you come to share with us a
Well,
little
it
bit?
really builds on everything you were just saying, that unique, authentic person that is within everybody. There is no one size fits all. There's no cookie cutter human being. And that really is the work that I'm trying to do, is help folks to connect to their authentic self within, especially if they've been impacted by trauma experiences along the way. And a lot of the work that I do also integrates the use of art and writing and poetry. And I'm looking forward to sharing more about that.
Well, I have always been an avid fan of art and the three things that I mentioned before and the work that you're doing. And trauma, it's a word that sometimes can be a little unnerving for people, but most everybody has experienced it at one time or another. And at some point, if you're still dealing with that inner child, you come to this. But you gave me some topics here that relate to what we're going to be talking about. And I want to ask you this because I use this word a lot because I happen to love it and I have no fear of this word. But some people not knowing and understanding do. How do we get to understand sensuous health and sensuality? And before you even tell us what that is, explain to us what that word means. Because somebody asked me, Joy, what does sensual mean? So how would you describe
Right.
that?
Well, I love to talk about this topic because my definition of sensuality really goes against how society has defined it for us, especially as women. If somebody says, "Are you a sensual woman?" we generally get pictures in our mind of what that's supposed to look like. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
we're supposed to go to Victoria's Secret or whatever and dress up, become some projection of sensuality that we've been taught. But I know for a fact that sensuality, at least for me and many of the folks I know, is really about being fully alive. And if you think about it, the root word of sensuality is sense. So for me, when we are fully sensual, we are in the fullness of our senses. And one quick example of that is, I'm sure everybody has an outdoor experience in nature that has reawakened your senses. Well, that deep reawakening, that sense of aliveness is a life force energy. And that to me is how I define sensuality. And I'm so excited to be preaching this good news because at the core of that, it's about being alive in your own uniqueness.
What a beautiful, graphic, very simplistic, loving description of what that means. And you nailed it for me, and I'm sure for many others who are now and will come for the replay. Because when I speak to programming, conditioning, and the end always with the big three, sexuality, this is where many of us have dropped the ball. And we have become so confused about what that really means. And Victoria's Secret, I love that company. But we, just like one size fits all approach, we have to learn how to become fully alive without being sexual in the ways that we've been programmed to be sexual.
Right.
So,
Well,
yes.
Well, and sensuality is a different word than sexuality.
Yes,
If you
indeed.
think about it, yeah,
Woo!
sexuality is intercourse. It's a physical expression. It is not emotional, you know what I mean? So we've taken that word and made it into so many distorted ideas of importance, et cetera, et cetera. And we also made it full of expectations because my sexual expression, just like my sensual expression, is different than yours. There is no one right way to be quote sexual. So I'm all about stripping it down and getting back to just being a decent human being and being authentic to what is important to you, whether that's sensual expression, how you live out loud, or your sexual expression, how you choose to have that expression in your life or don't have it. It's very individual experiences.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, am I open and learning from you, and I am so embracing and embodying your descriptions and the vast but yet akin differences between the two, because I think so many of us, for many reasons, mix up the two or don't really get the vast differences and the alignment between the two. And when you speak to, and that leads me to the other thing that you gave me, this fully alive is what divine femininity for me is all about, and
Yes.
facing it with our power. But you have a new book. We're talking about it now, workshop and tours that focus on healing sensuality and sexuality after trauma. So talk with us a little bit more about that. You've already given us good seeds, but let's have it blossom out a wee bit more.
Well, I just want to reiterate one point, and that is the issue about trauma. We all have trauma experiences. Some of
Mm-hmm.
us have more dramatic experiences. Some of us have experiences early in life. And we can't deny it, but those experiences impact the formation of who we are and
Mm-hmm.
our identities.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole point is to use the books that I've written as a place to simply reflect on who you are again. Like, know thyself and remember who you are before the trauma. Trauma is like a veil. It's sort of like having foggy glasses. My trauma experiences were in early childhood, and then as a teen, and then as in my 20s, because I never got the support I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And with every experience, my fogginess got deeper and deeper around how I should express my sensual self, my life, as well as my sexual self. And it really took me many years of moving through my own personal and spiritual growth journey for me to put that trauma aside and see clearly in a way without acknowledging the trauma and working on it. I couldn't get rid of the fog. So the books are really designed to inspire women just to look and remember the awesomeness within and to know that they have the power to release that trauma into the ether so they can move into their own greatness. That's my hope.
The way that, and that is your prayer, and mine as well.
Yeah.
And I like the way you explain to us the word trauma. And I'd like to interject here, and I have no shame or fear of being wrong. And if I am, you can, which you will already, I know, come back to me to let me know. I love your description. I have received it, and it's embedded. Yet I feel, and I don't judge, but I feel, because I know for me and for what I see, that a lot of women, whether they've gone through the horrific trauma effects or not, are confused today more than ever, especially in that we're in the casual mode, whatever that means to the individual. I'm not going to go into depth here about the difference between sexuality and sensuality, and somehow what we are projecting in our divine femininity is not showcasing our power. That's what I'm.
Mhm.
How would you address that?
Well, the issue of power always is at the center. And even in our own sexual self and sensual self, How we choose to use our power is always center. In fact, you could say that my books at the end of the day are about empowering women to reconnect to their power. Because without us being the creators and the directors of our lives, whether we're sensual or whether we're sexual, we really are, at the whim of what comes and moves into our lives. But to own our power and to be decision makers, that really is my main focus is own it again, woman. You can own it. Whatever your decision is, you can own that. And there is no right and wrong. Although I know some different folks have feelings about sexuality, but I have a really awesome person in my life who is a sexual health educator. And
Uh-huh.
interestingly, she's my daughter. And
I love it.
she teaches me every day. She said to me the other day, Mom, people are sexual and sensual in many different ways, and we have to remember that. And I just love that reminder. I have to remember we're all unique in how we express.
Well, I love that you brought that to us because for me, it's always been about diversity. And that's why for me, it's about blending in a harmonious way the old and the new. Your younger daughter
Exactly.
coming to you and sharing with you where somewhere it was a knowing within you, but to have her verbalize it and then for you to receive it, that's where we're all coming because each generation needs the other. That's always been my belief. As a young girl, I held myself around, kept myself around always the older generation. And now that I'm an older, happy senior, I stay around younger people. That's what it's about. And I see how we both need each other. And that's what you just spoke to. Because the confusion about and the differences that can show up in the diversity, sexuality and sensuality, and how you can have it as a female without showing your body parts is what we need to come to, because how you turn heads and stand out and make an impact and catch the eye and make a empowered impression. Men don't show their whatever, right? Why do we need to do that? I never received that, even as a young girl. That's a point I'm attempting to make. Am I giving any clarity at all?
Well, I love that point because, you know, I don't want to get too personal, but,
No, no.
I believe a woman's power to feel sensual, to feel her most alive.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever met a woman who is most alive, you will remember her. You're one of those women, Joy.
Thank you.
I
Thank
hope I'm one of those women.
you. You are.
And it's almost as if sex emanates me from me, even though I'm not doing anything sexual. My power moves through me. And that to me is the sacredness of sexuality
Oh my.
and sensuality. You know, whatever you choose to do in the bedroom is irrelevant to me, quite
And
honestly, as
nobody really
long as you're
cares.
honoring yourself,
Exactly.
loving yourself, and being that sacred divine being that we are. So, that really at the end of the day is the return to that sacred gift that we have, our energy and how we express it, sexually or otherwise.
Well, you use one of my favorite, well, I have so many favorite words, but sacred and divine are very prominent in my headspace
Me
now.
too.
I really, yeah, I know that. And that's one of the reasons because I think we all are here to shed, because not all of us are going to bring everybody, but you'll bring your group, I'll bring my group. Sometimes they will align and sometimes they won't. But that word sacred, when it comes to the divine feminine, which is where we have to go to get to that innate power. And thank you for the compliment, because that's what I continue to work on. So thank you for that. Let's, the time goes here and it goes so quickly, and you and I could go on forever. We've always been able to do this. Why? Ooh, I think we spoke to this. But why does the wounded feminine sensuality need healing? Why does it
All right,
need,
you go. I love the questions you ask. It's so important to me. I just want to point something out.
please?
The reason why we need to do this healing work, whether it's small or big, individual or as groups, is because we have generations of wounded feminine energy in our culture. Some spiritual folks say we carry the generations of, or we carry 7 generations within us
Yes,
energetically.
I've heard that. Hmm.
And now, if you understand that sexual assault against women has only recently been legally banned and within the last 50 years. So I just want you to understand that those wounds of our ancestors are part of us. So our healing, our choice to become healthier and stronger women heals our ancestors' line. And I know that might sound a little crazy, but just think about it. We're holding the energy of our mother's mother, their grandmother, and certainly their ideas of sexuality and sensuality certainly were impacted over time.
Mhm.
So for me, this healing is for the collective,
Yes.
ancestors as well as the future as well. And I feel like we're the creation makers here.
Well, that's why we're here, my love, because I feel the same way. Because when we talk about the collective, we're all one. We're at different
Right.
levels and different whatever, but it's a united front together. Collective community and connections, it's all aligned. So I love the way you express when we talk about femininity, sensuality, and sexuality. You nail it for me, and I hope you do, and I'm sure you do for all the other people. You know, time goes here. I say this every week because I get excited. I want to go on and on and on. But I want my engineer to put up your poster and I want you to speak a little bit about that. She'll leave it up for a minute. I'm going to ask the audience while you're talking about it, Georgia, to take a screenshot and a snapshot again, because this is how they can connect with you. And then you can tell us a little bit more about this.
Well, you see the two books, I Want Good Sex, Reclaiming Sensuality After Abuse, Assault, or After Living with Abuse, Assault, or Stupid Meanies,
Mhm.
as well as Get My Groove Back. You'll see that the heart of that is really about reclaiming. And the title, I Want Good Sex, I know there's a lot of good, for me, it's whether or not you want sex at all, it doesn't matter. It's about owning your choice,
Exactly.
owning your sexuality. And that word reclaiming, which is my power word, and I feel feels the power word for many women, it's about reclaiming your authentic self, going back before the programming. And that's what the books really are about. I'm so excited. It's taken me literally 10 years to put them together, but that's okay. I went with the journey of my own healing and empowerment, and it feels like it's the right time. And there's so many exciting things happening in the world about the empowerment of women. It just feels like the right time to bring them forward.
It is, Georgia. It's our time. And this is
It
not
is.
to deny men, because
Right.
we would not be here without them. And anyone, as my momsy would say, with half a brain has received that. But the truth is, it's our time to own our power. And you can't do that without all the beauty and the wisdom that you shared with us today. And I love the R-E, and all that reinvent, reestablish, whatever. I'm going to do a talk on the re's because there's so
I
many
want
of them.
that.
And this is the time to everything. And most everything takes time. You said it's taken you a while, but I don't
Mhm.
know anyone who's had any type of a success that happened. It might appear that it happened overnight, but it was a journey for everyone that I read about. And I love reading autobiographies and biographies. So, my love, the book that you have and the workshops that you offer, I'm going to ask my engineer to put up your poster again because I want them to take a good screenshot or a snapshot and do the connecting with you, because the work that you do, it needs to be exploded and expanded way out into the stratosphere because it is worthy of platinum. So here it is. Please take the snapshot or screenshot and get all the information that you need there and the books that she's written and connect with her so that you can align with her. What pearls of wisdom would you like to leave us with, my lady? Any words?
Oh, there's no, the only pearls I want to remind you of is that you are the poor pearl. You are the gem. You own it all within. And that's all we need to remember and tap into. So my pearl is that you are the pearl.
You know what? This is why we're connected, because that's my mantra as well. That's what I'm saying. It's not about me, it's about you, and all the greatness and love and goodness within me is within you. The beauty, the love, and all of that, and the wisdom. So, Georgia, thank you, thank you, thank you. My
Thank
engineer is
you.
going to put you in the green room, and I'll be with you in just a second. I applaud you. I celebrate you. Thank you. Oh, I do get excited. I can't help it. It's just in my DNA. But friends, just remember that It really is all about you and owning your power, however you go about that. And every journey takes time. And the development of your power and your sacred femininity and masculine, because it's combined within you, and the signature style that you're searching for so that you can make the impact and stand out as you wish, it's all there. It's just waiting for you to awaken it so that it can step out and own the room. And you can do that in love. Be and stay well. Make this one of the, I say this every week, make it one of the best weeks ever. Enjoy, be and stay well. And I send you always from my heart to your heart much, much love. All the best. Cheers.